I could do that pinball tier list of all the pinball games. of how good I found them. That's what I can do, since that was suggested earlier. Screw, I totally will. Let's see here. If I can just look up tier maker, there's not gonna be ones for like this specific thing. I just want to find like a general thing. Yeah, an empty template, and then open it in Affinity Photo. Screw it. Tier list of pinball games time. Let's have a look-see here, and let's evaluate them. And I'll just like write in the titles for things, or drag them from my relevant folders for them. Like, let's see here. So new from clipboard. Here we go. If I go to here, and then we like do display capture. No, display capture 2. Yeah, we can do that. Or maybe so stuff is out of the way, I can go to playthrough 1, where my thing is off apparently. Why is my Xbox controller on? What? Where is that source? I don't remember enabling this. I don't know why it's cropped at the bottom, but okay. Here, turn that off. Display capture 2. Here we go. Yeah, something like that. Alright, let's see here. Let's open up some folders for things. So, what was the order that I went in? There was Game & Watch Pinball, but like, we can have like an unranked thing. Or, I don't know. I'll just like say unranked, or I can resize the document here. Resize document. Gotta lurk for the last hour. IRL has been neglected on your end. You got this, dude. I appreciate that, Shiny and Chrome. Yeah, almost there. Have fun with the IRL stuff. Don't lock aspect ratio. Totally just stall here. Oh, no. Resize canvas then, not resize document. Whoops. I'm a little bit silly sometimes. There we go. And we're gonna write a little thing here that says unranked. And first and foremost, like, I'm just gonna go in order of the stuff here is what I'm gonna do. And these are like other things that I put on, like, thinking about. This apparently is like, I looked this up and this seemed very not quite pinball-like, so I did set that up. And I put like X's and check marks by the things that I got working and like fully at the ready to go for the stream, so that's what that is. See a little bit of the behind the scenes. So let's just go in order. Game & Watch Pinball. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's something or other. The next was Pinball on the NES. So I look up Pinball here, not Pokemon. Pinball, NES. I can just slap this in here. So this one, like, I don't know. For what it was of like just pinball on the NES, like, it's basic, it gets the point across. I like how there's a 2-player mode, like, that's kind of cool. And a little bonus game on the side is pretty neat. I do wish there was music. It feels a little bit lacking without music. Just some sort of like basic tune going on. So, not like a masterpiece for what it was, but it was pretty alright. I'm gonna put it in a C tier here, is what I'm gonna do. That's what we're starting out with. Then was Kirby's Pinball Land. Gosh dang it, Kirby's Pinball Land. Yeah, the this. The that. That one was kind of cool. I have to keep in mind that, like, all the ones with campaigns have, like, a very steep ask for, like, what you're expected to do. So, ranking them against one another for, like, what you have to do in one go. Also, I'm gonna turn down my music a little bit here. Sorry, Snivies. I love your work. Also, you still owe me a match of Mario Party. After all these years. So I like the different areas and like boss battles. I really didn't like the bomb guy one. And like when you fall through the gap just barely, you can feel a little bit like getting over it with Bennett Foddy. It's like, oh, the boss battle like has been reset. This just sucks. And that'd feel a little bit crummy sometimes. But you know, with like the content and different things there and like campaign, I'm gonna put that in like a solid B tier here is what I think I'm going to do. Alright, the next one here, because I did have some fun with that one. Okay, The next one is Galactic Pinball for the Virtual Boy. Was the next one, 1995. So we went from Game & Watch 1983, NES 1984 or 1983 because that's what the game says. This 1993, so jumping way ahead. Galactic Pinball, now we're at 1995. So this one here, this was my first time ever playing a Virtual Boy game, and I know I didn't really get the authentic experience of putting on like a Virtual Boy headset. So, like, I'm sure I didn't really get the intended experience here. And like, the Virtual Boy things mean that's gonna be like completely red. I like how many different maps there were, but they all felt like extremely samey. Like they all felt like playing different versions of the exact same thing. Like, I didn't feel like there was that much variety there. The only thing that stands out for like difference in maps is like the illegal aliens, and then like, and I also didn't put a whole bunch of time into the different maps to like really explore them thoroughly. Also, I joke so much about like illegal aliens with like the current political climate of the states that whenever games bring up aliens, I'll sometimes joke about illegal aliens, and I don't know why I didn't come up with this while I was actually playing this, but just now, like the moment that I was saying aliens, my brain just auto-filled the word illegal first because it's funny to say that we were stopping illegal aliens in Galactic Pinball. They felt kind of samey, but I didn't put in a massive ton of time. I thought that it was pretty boring. The movement of the puck was like super janky. Like, I have to acknowledge that it was meant to be like more virtual reality kind of thing, and I didn't really properly explore it super in depth. I'd say like either low C tier or high D tier or something like that. I'm gonna put it here for now. Like, it wasn't super great, honestly. But again, like I might not be like a super pro at it. So maybe a low C tier. I don't know here. The next up was Kirby's Toy Box from 1996, which is just like the little, gosh dang it, the little individual games. Here's the official like Japanese title for it. Where, I don't know how it worked exactly, where you had like cartridges that you put in for just like the individual games. You had like the background based on the Kirby's Superstar, like one of the best Kirby games ever made. But this single pinball map, of just a single map and that's it. Like, again, I know that's part of Kirby's Toy Box where there's like lots of other mini games, but even that one map, it's just like, I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of that map. If I think of like a single map of pinball that I could get really into, I'll think of something like a Space Cadet. I feel like something like this, I'm not really the biggest fan of. It was okay. It's a way to pass the time when you're bored, but honestly, I'll put that in D tier, I think. That's what I do. I think I like Galactic Pinball more than it. It's definitely the case. Next up is 1999 Pokemon Pinball for the Game Boy Color. Also, my music stopped. Why'd my music stop? Okay, it's just like quiet intro. Did I write Tie Maker? I'm just now noticing. No, I wrote Tier Maker. Okay, making sure I'm not that dumb. Let's see here. So Pokemon Pinball. Let's see here. Pokemon Pinball, the original Thingamabob. Slap this on here. You know, it was actually kind of cool. I like how there's like the travel to different areas to catch different Pokemon. Which, like, I read online was the case beforehand. That's how I know that that's the case, since I didn't really explore it all that much in game. And like catching Pokemon and filling the Pokedex and stuff like that. You get a tier list of all the pinball games I played.
I'm assuming the Virtual Boy is in worst tier.
Yeah, it wasn't great, honestly.
Maybe an F tier just for it.
F tier just for it. No, it wasn't the worst thing ever. Like, I'll have it above this, honestly. Kirby's Toy Box. But yeah, Pokemon Pinball, it was pretty cool, I think, honestly. I know that, like, the whole jumping screens thing is probably just the way that you would have to make it on the Game Boy Color. The Rumble Thingamabob is interesting and would probably feel a lot more interesting on, like, an actual physical Game Boy Color here. I didn't think that it was perfect. I feel like there could have been, like, a little bit of clear UI for me to understand what's going on. Something that Ruby and Sapphire, like, completely improved upon and made very clear what, like, the different options are. So, like, very clear improvement in that regard. You know, I'm gonna put it in a solid A tier here, I think. I'm going to do. Next, 2001 is Pokemon Pinball Mini. So, yeah, that's this one here. And I feel like, honestly, for like a tiny little Tamagotchi-like device where you can play like mini Pokemon games and stuff like that I never knew about before, for a little mini thing there where you have like a campaign where you can get like different Pokemon that all send the ball up in different ways, and it's like a little bit of a different kind of challenge rather than one pinball board. Like you actually have like a campaign of different challenges to get through. That's actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. Like a finite amount of challenges, and then you can say that you've actually beaten the game. Like that's kind of a cool thing. It's just, the thing that I'm really not the biggest fan of with it is the fact that the requirements for the challenges are actually just brutally difficult at times. Like what is up with that? Like I had to try it so many times as a grown adult. Like maybe that's just to like lengthen the playtime for kids or something like that was the intention. But I imagine it's just gotta be like super frustrating when you're stuck on the same levels over and over again. Like I do like how there's like a finite set of missions that you're clearing, and it's a little bit of a different pinball experience. But the ask for what you're supposed to do in these missions and how many times you might need to try it over and over again is pretty frustrating. So I'm gonna put it in like, I don't know, low B tier or something like that. Is what I might just do here. Alright, next is Pinball e-reader. I'm not even gonna like put that in here. Well, I can do like this. Something like that. What the heck did I just do? Pinball e-reader. That's just NES pinball, so like we already know what that's like. So we don't really need to do anything there. Then is Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. That one was actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. I think my biggest complaint with that game is my music here? Sounds like it's coming in quietly. I think my biggest complaint with this game is just like the super tall ask of getting things like legendary Pokemon, where it's like you just have to keep on going on and on and on and on without having the round end and get like the bonus games for so long. And anyone that came into the stream that I asked like, did you ever get the legendaries? The answer was like, no shot. Like, I feel like the requirements for that can be brought down for sure. Like, it's an extremely tall ask. It feels very much like you need to be like an actual pinball master that meditated on a mountaintop if you want to be able to get those. So like, it's absurd. I'm sure there's people that can. Like, I have no doubt about that. But man, is it absolutely insane. But it does seem like good, simple fun. The UI, like, it learned a lot from the original game and like very clearly labels what's what. So it's like, I know, oh, I'll do that and then I catch. I go this way and I can evolve. I go this way and it's the Mart and all that stuff like that. So like, the UI was super clean. I like the two different boards there. The section with Nuzleaf was a little bit jank. Yeah, it's mostly like the steep ask on the on the legendary Pokemon. That's my biggest complaint there. But so it's not perfect, but I'm not gonna consider S tier perfect. I'm gonna consider that like my favorite pinball games here, and you know what? That was actually really good. I was getting frustrated with like me just not being able to get the legendaries no matter what. So like that's my biggest key complaint is that the ask is way too tall. Because even with save states, it was taking me forever, and I still wasn't catching Rayquaza. I was doing like catching over and over and over again, and I could never imagine myself doing that without save states like that. It seems like it would be brutally difficult. But I'm gonna put it up there still. So not perfect, really darn good. Next is Mario Pinball Land. Mario Pinball Land. Let's see here. Oh, I don't really have one without a background. Screw it. Well, whatever. Here it is. Mario Pinball Land. I do quite like the Mario-ified kind of pinball idea of you're going and like clearing areas and collecting stars, kind of like it's Mario 64, just one of the 3D Mario games where you're collecting shine sprites or stars in galaxy or moons or whatever the heck kind of thing. You're collecting some main thing that most commonly is stars by clearing different challenges and solving puzzles and doing different things. I very much like that concept, but oh my goodness, the game just felt like so unbelievably jank. And in the boss battles that feel like especially jank so much of the time, and you just get knocked down, and I assume that like the boss resets. And I don't know if you need to get like all the keys and stuff in one go. I would assume not. Is that tall of an ask? But it is just so jank and silly and weird. I do appreciate it trying to do something very different. One with like the Mario-ified kind of pinball, and two with just like, you know, the flippers at the bottom and not trying to like hit things and score points primarily, but like defeating enemies and getting stars. I guess that plays into the Mario-ified, but it's just a very, very different pinball game, and I appreciate them doing something different. But man, it's so jank, because I'm gonna have like one specific target and just keep on not being able to hit it. Because at least in something like Pokemon Pinball, like maybe I'm aiming for something like the catch a Pokemon thing over and over again and missing it. Well, there's other things that I can be hitting that are worthwhile. Like maybe I go around this and I get coins that I can use in the mark. Or maybe I hit the egg and it like makes progress towards it hatching. So I'm still making progress by like hitting other things. Whereas this, you're missing your main targets. You're doing like nothing. I guess you could be getting like some coins there that you can spend in Toad's shop, which seem to have like no explanation for what they do. Like they should have a little title card explanation for what they do in the shop. So it just feels extra frustrating because it feels like you're doing nothing when you're missing your main objective. At least these can feel like you're doing something when you're missing your main objective, if you're going down like other lanes that help you progress in other ways. So this trying to hit like some doorway, or I open some doorway, and now I'm trying to take out the enemies here, and I keep on accidentally going through the doorway. Like this game feels like it would actually be infuriating without save states, and I actually really, really did not like it. Like this, I at least liked. I feel like D tier should be reserved for the ones that I didn't like. Like, this feels a little bit wrong, because it's like I acknowledge I really, really like the different ideas that they were experimenting with here, and like Mario-ifying pinball. There's some really cool ideas, but the execution was just so jank and frustrating and awful. And I feel like if I was playing this without save states, I would want to throw my Game Boy Advance out the window, is what it honestly feels like. So, while I have a respect for some of the things that it was going for, let's just put that in like high D tier, where it's like I respect it, but I think the execution was sloppy and I really did not like it, honestly. So yeah, F to pay respects for Mario Pinball Land. I'm sure if I played it as a kid, I probably would have really liked it. Like, I'm sure most of these things, if I played them as a kid, I would have really liked it, just like Space Cadet. But I'm sorry, Mario fans. I cannot there. And finally is Metroid Prime Pinball here. What? Metroid Prime Pinball. Let's shove this down here. Where's the, here we go. Here's this thing, Bob. This, I feel like, makes a bit more sense for pinball than Mario, what with, like, Samus naturally going to a Morph Ball. And it's the same developers for Mario Pinball Land and Metroid Prime Pinball. They made Mario Pinball Land, and then they went on to make Metroid Prime Pinball. So, like, same studio, but this was, like, a lot more standard pinball with, like normal tables as opposed to, like, the Mario-ified. But they still incorporated, like, a very Metroid kind of aspect to it, so it still felt kind of like a Metroid game. It still felt kind of like Metroid Prime, with the, with you having to collect artifacts to go to the Chozo Temple and defeat Metroid Prime, because it was just literally the plot of the first game, except without, like, the details and cool stuff. Like, unless you played Metroid Prime, you have no idea what the heck is going on here, really. Or things like you unlocking power-ups as you go, like missiles or power bombs and stuff like that. You can use that, and there being boss battles that you have to hit over and over again. Like, that's kind of cool. I think I kind of wish that there was at least one more of the more atmosphere kind of generic boards that aren't about a boss battle. Like, it felt like Pirate Frigate and Talent Overworld were the two kind of atmospheric generic board thingamabobs. And then Phendrana Drifts, Phazon Mines, and the Impact Crater were just like, here's a boss battle and a board that you're doing the boss battle on. I mean, they do their job well for that. I mean, some of the boss attacks, if they find you in a bad position, can feel like, how do you even dodge these? I mean, same with Mario Pinball Land, with them freezing you or sending you straight down the chute sometimes. But I think my favorite table was probably Talon Overworld, with like all the details and like Still the Rain and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. That was probably my favorite board. Like, that might be my favorite board in this whole collection. Like, I really quite like that one. And still, that many boards is more than a lot of these games can say. Like, this is 2 boards. So still, me saying that I wish that there was more kind of atmospheric boards than having like 2 generic atmospheric boards and tables or whatever the heck, and then 3 boss battle ones. It's still not half bad when like those 2 tables are like pretty good, and I really liked one of them. And like the 2 normal tables is like the same amount of normal tables that one has. I feel like this has better replay value with you trying to catch a different Pokemon and fill your Pokedex and like continue to make progress. I don't know what you would do here to continue to make progress. Just like try to beat your high score, I guess, and beat multi-mission for the first time and beat Metroid Prime to beat the game, I suppose. So it would be. And I really like the different power-ups and stuff like that, like Phase-On, Multi-Ball, Multi-Ball. Some of the asks felt like pretty crazy frustrating at times. I think the worst one was like the Chozo Temple, where it's like you have to shoot all the balls into like the different artifact holder thingamabobs, and Ridley's out here just destroying them. And if you fail, you have to go to another table and then I guess come back. I mean, maybe if you come back, maybe it would be easier each time. Maybe going at it the first time had it on like the hardest difficulty. And even things like the Metroid-based mini-games, like the attack mode or like the wall jump where you gotta time it just right. I like how stuff like that was incorporated as well. So, like, I don't think that it was without issues, but I think I really quite like that, and I might put that here. So, yeah, I think my least favorite would be Kirby's Toy Box. Oh, our designated driver just parked. So yeah, my least favorite was probably Kirby's Toy Box. Like, it just gets so boring so fast. This, I mean, it is what you expect. Virtual Boy Pinball, where maps feel kind of the same. I do respect this one. I do genuinely respect this one for what it tried to do. But the execution is just such a frustrating design and just like so awful, and like I don't think I'm gonna play this game ever again. Like, I was not a big fan there. This is basic pinball. I like how there's like the 2-player mode. The little bonus mini game stuff is cool. I wish that there was some music in there, but it's basically what you expect of like NES kind of pinball. I like how there's like the 2 halves. So it's like you have like the flippers at the top, and you can try to keep it there for a while, and then when it falls down, you still got flippers at the bottom, and you have like a whole other section. I think that's kind of cool, and you can go through the bonus area and try to get up there again. Like, that's cool and satisfying, so I do like that. I really like how there's a finite set of missions to get through this and be able to beat the game, and like different characters that you unlock and stuff. But like the ask on them is a decent bit steep, like some of the objectives. And again, maybe that's just to get like more replay value or more gameplay time for kiddos. But man, some of those objectives felt brutal. It was pretty cool. I liked the going around and defeating like different kind of Kirby bosses. Though it does kind of suck that like when you drop down, the bosses reset. It would be cool if the bosses didn't reset, so like you carried over your progress. Like I don't know if that's the case with the other ones, but I know it was definitely the case with the bomb guy where they reset, so that if you fell down and like went all the way to the bottom, then it would actually feel worthwhile to try shooting yourself all the way back to the top and working your way back up there to continue where you left off and like finish off what you started, as opposed to, oh, it reset now and now I'm super low down. Why don't I just start the game anew and then I get like a head start? I'm part of the way up there anyway. Like, I guess if you're trying to do it all in one fell swoop, then you wouldn't have that privilege. But like, then it feels less like, oh, I made a time mistake. Now there goes all that progress on the boss. So that was probably one of my biggest complaints there. And then it would feel more worthwhile to get back to where you left off if it resumes where you were at. So I would like that. But it was generally a pretty fun game and interesting with like the different bosses and stuff like that. Pokemon Pinball, definitely lots of replay value with like filling up the Pokedex and stuff like that. It had some really cool ideas. The Rumble Pack idea is definitely interesting, and I can only imagine how that would feel in like an original Thingamabob. Yeah. And yeah, this is, I described, like incredible replay value, but and like very clear UI, and really liking the boards and stuff. So now with all the pinball games I played ranked, I am currently at 23 hours, 50 minutes, and 12 seconds streamed. So 10 more minutes and I'm at 24 hours. 10 more minutes. Now you can start packing up if you want. So the closing ceremonies are supposed to be at 11, so 13 minutes from now. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling here. So I think this is my favorite. Second favorite, third favorite, fourth, fifth, yada yada. That's what I'm feeling here. I'm not ranking Odama. If I had to put Space Cadet somewhere, and like the other full tilt pinball ones, maybe I put it like here, behind Pokemon Pinball. That's where I'd probably put it. That's what I might just do. If I had to put that somewhere. And Odama, I don't have enough time. I would just say like unranked for that. Because my goodness, interesting ideas, but like, who the heck greenlit that game in the first place? I don't get it. So yeah, there's my little pinball tier list. Well, with 9 minutes left to go here, if anyone's still on the stream, is there anything you want to talk about? No, I don't know. I do want to say here at the end that I do very greatly appreciate everyone that tuned into another 24-hour GRE stream. And thank you for your patience as well with like how much of a toll this has been taking on me. I'm sure I haven't exactly been like the most entertaining of content creators here while I've been playing nothing but pinball endlessly and like slowly losing my mind over the fact that I'm playing nothing but pinball endlessly. I need to like take breaks and wander around here, especially towards the end, and like, probably spending more time away from stream than I ever have during one of these 24-hour charity streams. So this is probably the least actual game time during one of these events and the most BRB screen time. So appreciate your patience and like tuning in still despite that. Because yeah, this probably wasn't exactly the most entertaining 24-hour charity stream, I don't think. But definitely the hardest challenge on me. What, sorry? It might be one of mine, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely certain here. As long as you have the right number of chords, then you're good, I guess. I know I had a couple here because I had one running from my capture card. Like, that's definitely one of mine. That one belongs to Extra Life or the AV guys or whatever it is here. As long as you have a chord for your thingamabobby, then you good, I think. Pack up some of the snacky kind of things here. That's what I'll do for now. Clean some stuff up off of the table. Methinks stuff that I can do for now. I think the closing ceremonies are starting now, though I can't exactly make out what's being said. That's so echoey here. Put my 3D prints in the bag. Put the money in the bag. Man. All the SpongeBob references are just coming to me today. My little guy here. Yeah, I 3D printed a bunch of Extra Life Dragons in preparation, but none of them ended up being claimed. Ah well. Glad that my childhood friendo that came and visited, along with his girlfriend, was able to take one home. I have too many dragons at home, like holy crap. Here's another little Dudo. Yeah. Put this on the side now. There's a whole bunch of like Halloween candy stuff on the desk here now. Maybe I'll just put in this Lay's bag. Hello, Rico Man. How's it going? Haven't played Mario Party Jamboree yet? A massive ton. Like, I assume that you're asking. Are you asking at this event or in general? Because in general, a massive ton. Like, it's probably like the most Mario Party stuff that I've made for one. How do I word this? It's the Mario Party game I've made the most content of on the channel because I've played like a whole bunch of it. And here, when my friendo that I grew up with in a German bilingual program visited with his girlfriend, we ended up playing the Waluigi pinball minigame of it together because this is my pinball stream. So they indulge me in like joining in multiplayer games in Waluigi pinball in that thingamabob. My brain is fried. I'm so tired. Just like I can't speak clearly. So yeah, we didn't do like a board here. We just did that minigame, and then a couple other minigames from there as well, technically. This is all the wrappers and stuff. Here's like some tags and stuff that I can throw out. Hat. Trucker black hat blank. Misting. I think this is all the Halloween candy stuffs around here. Oh, dragon moustache. I can put that in my favorite bag. Wrapping up the 24-hour charity stream here is the case. I'm at 23 hours, 55 minutes, 36 seconds. So I can wrap this up in 5 minutes. Also, I don't know if that was like a closing ceremony thing or if there's like a bigger thing planned. What's going on? Exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of starting to pack up here while the stream is still ongoing. I'm tired, and my initial plan with this stream was just like, I'm just gonna go until like everything is packed up and like I'm one of the last people here, because that's how I usually do it at like Fragapalooza, but I don't have it in me. I definitely do not. So, yeah, I gotta pack them and get ready to head home. But this stream has to hit the 24-hour mark first. That's what I'm gonna have to do before I can end things and wrap it up and stuff here. Take off my hoodie underneath this jacket. Yeah, it was pretty cold on the rink. It's definitely warmer now. But if my zipper could work, that'd be great. Fantastic. It was cold here during the night. Yep. Ah. Take that off. Just on my jacket. The controllers, where it's a mix of my controllers and my cousin's controllers that I borrowed for the Smash stuff. I'll just sort it out sometime later when I'm more awake. I don't think he's in any rush for the back. I'll put my dragon in there. I was also pretty sure that I packed my second camera, like my old primary camera, in my bag early on when I was packing like a week ago, the stuff that I didn't immediately need in my stream room for the next week. But I wasn't 100% certain, so I packed like my old secondary camera as like an emergency backup, but like, looks like I didn't need it. Well, that stream was hard, but I made it through. It has been done here. So at 23 hours, 57 minutes, 56 seconds, so a few minutes left to go here. It was hard. I'm glad I made it through. I wasn't entirely sure I would at some points. I think my Halloween stream definitely had an impact, and the fact that I was playing pinball games here endlessly definitely had an impact. And setting this up ahead of time before the stream even started definitely had an impact. The fact that I woke up at 5, got here at 6, and we only started at like 11:30. A whole bunch of setup. I honestly feel more awake now than I thought I would be. I think that 1 hour power nap like definitely helped me a bit. But I could also be like overestimating the way I'm currently feeling. Part of me feels like I'd be able to potentially help with teardown, but another part of me feels like I would just like collapse in the middle of it. Like I'm not entirely sure how I'm feeling here. Is the case. So like I'm not feeling as half dead. Yeah, this is a 24-hour charity stream. This has been scheduled for a decent while. It's game day at the Extra Life event. We're live from West Edmonton Mall. And now it's light again. Now it's actually blue skies instead of the darkness that it was for a lot of this stream. Since now it's 10:56 a.m. local time. So the mall is open. People are crowding around here again. Lots of people around. I'm repeating myself more than I usually do because like my brain is fried. But yeah, I feel like without that 1 hour power nap, I could not have gotten through this. But yeah, so the 11th time doing a 24-hour charity stream, probably the hardest one yet. And here, look at this. We're about to hit 24 hours. Probably the hardest one yet, and probably the least time actually here gaming. Like, it was a toll on me. I imagine the next one, the 24-hour charity stream 12, that'll be sometime next year at home, earlier in the year. It'll probably be a lot easier on me. There it is, 24 hours. It's been done. But the next Extra Life event next year in November, I'm not playing pinball games for this anymore. I don't know what I'm gonna do next year. That's a problem for future me to figure out. Well, I hit 24 hours. I think I can start packing up here a decent bit more. Oh, there's some cardboard that I can toss out here. What I can do. Oh, thank you. Grab my little 3D printed bowl here. I don't know, let's just see how well you're doing. How many fingers am I holding up? I'm gonna have to really think about that one. And yeah, we did hit past the milestone for doing some Waluigi pinball, but whoops, about forgetting my Ethernet adapter, and I'll definitely have to hook up my Switch properly to do that, because like there's only so many slots in the router, and I had to unplug the one that led to my Switch to plug in my dad's PC since his current one of my spare parts machines doesn't do wireless. So I'll sort that out and figure out getting connected to the LAN, and we can like schedule a day for Waluigi pinball at some point, and I'll probably just like append it in the bottom of the same playlist that this goes on, most likely, because like an extension part of the 24-hour cherry stream in general, right? Or something or other, I think makes sense. So yeah, but that's a problem to not figure out right now when I'm like half dead. That's a problem for some time later here. Oh yeah, the extra life sticker that I got. Go ahead and put in my bag. Yeah, I have a lot of cables to pack up. Let me tell you, I don't think I've shown this yet, but the cable management that I underwent here, just spectacular, let me tell you. Like, you've never seen cables so well managed in your life. I want the OBSBot cam, this. It's, yeah, but some of that is like networking stuff. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mess, has been the case, but like it works. Like a Bethesda game, it just works. You know how it be. So yeah. Start unplugging stuff. Oh, that's plugged into my PS5 controller here. I'm sure I have another USB-C somewhere around for no, I think I share it between them. So I think this should be good. And I have my bag full of USB-C cables. I have like basically my console stuff already. Piling a bunch of cables into here. I can unplug my capture card stuff. The HDMI on the ground that was running from the stage went out of the way of so it's not a tripping hazard. I remember this cable I bought last year here at Extra Life because I did bring a lot of USB-C cables and figured I could use one of them for my capture card, but I specifically needed a USB 3.0 cable, which I did not have. So I went and I bought this thing from a little tech store just down there, and now I take it with me whenever I go to LAN events like this, specifically for my capture card, so I don't have to dismantle the one that's literally going through my desk at home and would be a pain in the butt to take out. So I just leave it, and it's a little box for when the day comes that I must call upon its power once again, if it'll properly fit in the box here. Here we go, my tiny little box. So. I already threw it in a bag. So I know I wasn't using like my little HDMI for most of this event. But I don't know where I put it. I'm sure it's around somewhere in one of these bags. I hope. It's yeah, that's how it goes at these events. Alright, there's a lot of people packing up. There's still some people gaming over there. Yeah, and it's 11:02. Chairs on the stage. Oh yeah, I do. My little one that just goes from my capture card to my monitor at home. I have it. I'm good. Okay. I can unplug these. There's gonna go my audio. So this is unplugged myself. Wow. packing things in here. Headphones off. You can still hear. No, actually, you can't hear music. Wow, I'm honestly surprised that it cut that out. Because it should have still been playing on my desktop. But maybe now that like the audio settings changed. It's weird. Or something or other. So I don't know. My headphones I just had loosely before. So yeah. Time for a, oh, that's getting caught on some things. This doesn't loop around my headphones very well at all. And this is a very long cable, so I can like traverse around my office well, while still listening to audio, not having to take these on and off all the time. It's like I can navigate between my 3D printer and my computer and stuff, and it's really nice. I'll just put these loosely in here, sure. I don't know, I don't care. Put this loosely in here. Oh yeah, the Pokemon cards that I got. Forgot about that. I'll just put them in my, I don't know. I'll put them in my Switch case. That sounds like a safe place. Just a single monitor and you imagine what's on it. My hair has gone crazy in this event. It was tied back nicely in the beginning. I swear. Oh, save a replay of this battle. I still think it's funny that I got the achievement for like did 8-player Smash for the first time. I had no idea I'd never done 8-player Smash on my Switch before. Like that was news to me. My Switch case is falling apart. I've re-glued this on so many times. There's so much dry glue there. Yeah, I'll toss my capture card in there. Stream Deck. Oh, I unplugged the secondary camera, so you just get like a frozen image there now of people walking. I didn't realize that was plugged into the USB hub.
Which is your cable bag?
The green one here. Is what it is. All right. Let's see here. Grab some more stuff up. My hair is getting a little bit crazy here. I swear I was wrapped up nicely at one point. Wow, I'm looking at myself in the video there. Like, I look so different compared to what I'm used to looking like. All right, I'm gonna need to unplug my Switch dock here that I very briefly used. Pull some cables through.
Jake, did you like the rock solid ice cream?
That was pretty good, yeah. This is like my travel Switch dock usually. I just had it on my desk here. I have my main Switch dock on the stage. That's what I had going on. Yeah, the venue is starting to empty out here. Alright, now comes the time that I have to unplug the essentials for things to work here. So, 24 hours, 8 minutes, 53 seconds. Well, past the 24-hour mark. Lots of people are heading out here. Where's my thingamabob? So cool how I can turn my camera. Yeah, people are packing up and heading out. It's the end. It is time to go home. This was certainly something I'm gonna pass out for so dang long. So that's the end of the 24-hour Cherry Stream 11. Oh my goodness, this was yeah, not doing anything like that again anytime soon. Holy crap, that was certainly something. Once again, I greatly appreciate everybody that donated during this event, everybody that tuned in, everybody that had patience with me, like really struggling throughout this. I'm gonna go home and sleep now. We'll follow up sometime with like some Waluigi Pinball is the plan. And yeah, time to pack up and head out of here. So, hope you all enjoyed the event here, and that's still framed there. This is the local time that we are ending on that I set up specifically for this event. And yeah, I don't know what else to say, and I'm gonna be stuck here rambling for a decent while if I keep on talking, as oftentimes happens here. So, until next time when I am not half dead like I am now, Thanks again. Take care and see ya.
Well, Jake, better hurry up.